Bonjour, bienvenue à 11.5 irregular subjunctive. So we learn the regular subjunctive, we go to the third person plural, we take off the ENT or ISS-ENT in the case of our IRs, and then we add an ESE, ENT, and IONS, IEZ for the nous and vous. That's regular. Now, there are some irregulars, and the thing is they kind of already work in the same irregular way as you've learned before. So it's not a new irregular pattern. It's the one that you've already learned. For instance, we have venir, venir. Okay? So venir, if you'll remember, in the present indicative, vient, 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 viennent. And remember, this is venons, venez. So we have this boot pattern with our VIE in it, okay? Vient, 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 viennent. So that's the present indicative. We're working in the present subjunctive, okay? Same tense, different mood. We're talking about doubts, hopes, obligations, okay? Wishes. So we're going to see that in the subjunctive, the verbs that are regular with these two stems, one stem, the VIE, okay, the VIE here, and then N, one stem for the boots, and one stem for the nous and vous, it's going to work the same way in the subjunctive. So let's see. Now, how do we form the subjunctive? We go to that third person plural, and we take off the ENT. And you're going to see that I'm going to fill in our boot. Oh, that's going to cut that off. Okay. Now we're going to treat the boot exactly the same. E, ES, E, ENT. Third person plural, still the same. Don't forget to add que, tu, qu'il, qu'il. Okay? So now we pronounce the end, and it all sounds the same. Que je vienne, que tu viennes, qu'il vienne, qu'il vienne. They're pronounced exactly the same. That's our boot. Now for the subjunctive, yes, normally you go to that third person plural. But since we have one that has the two stems in the present indicative, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to use and go back to the regular V-E-N. Okay, so it's really pretty simple. We're using what we should already know. And then we add the IONS and the IEZ. Really pretty simple there. Now, there's a whole list of verbs that you should know that work like this. So, like boire, que je boive, 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 qu'il boive. And then, nous buvions. Vous buviez. Okay? So, sounds the same. Nous buvons. Now we have ions, buvions. Okay? We just added that I in there. Let's look at one that's a little bit more difficult because it has so many vowels mixed in. It still uses, actually there's two of them. We're going to look at vouloir, and we're going to look at aller. Okay? Now, yeah. Let's start with this here. Remember we have que, je. That's not going to have enough room. Okay. That's crazy, right? Look at that. A, I, L, L. I don't know. It is what it is, guys. So just throw in the I, okay? But like I said, we're going to have that in the boot pattern, okay? Que tu, okay? And we'll add on the endings in a sec. Okay? and we add E, E-S-E, E-N-T. Nous and vous, we're going to keep the same. Que vous allions. Que vous alliez. Yeah, I know. Why? But it is what it is. This is easier. It's just A-L-L, okay? I-O-N-S, I-E-Z. Looks just like the imparfait. And then here we have que j'aille, que tu ailles, qu'il aille, qu'ils aillent. Now we have a liaison here, okay? Qu'il aille, qu'ils aillent. Okay? Aille, 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 qu'ils aillent. Right? Allions, alliés. Make sure you add the que in there, subjunctive. Que j'aille, que tu ailles, qu'il aille, que nous allions, que vous alliez. That we have an L sound now, not a Y sound. Qu'ils aillent. Okay? So yeah, watch out for that one. Add in that extra I. So we have AI. Vouloir, also weird. Also weird. Que je, que tu, qu'il, que vous, que nous. Okay. So let's go. Plural, let's look at that. This one, it's not that tricky here. With the aller, it was tricky because that third person plural was vont. Well, nothing like it, right? Here, third person plural, if you remember, ils veulent. Okay? So what we're going to look at, it's kind of similar here. Kind of. We are going to add in another random I before we get to our double L's. Okay? So just kind of think about it. If you can remember this one, when we had that extra I before double L's, we're going to do the same thing. Extra I before double L's. Okay? So this one doesn't, remember I've been telling you like every time, it looks like the third person plural. Aller definitely didn't, okay, because that was qu'ils aillent, okay? And this one's not going to either, but we still have E, E-S, E, E-N-T, okay? Here, go back to the nous form, the regular nous form. Remember, nous voulons. This one's easy, but that's the regular. Now let's go to the subjunctive, voulions, vouliez. Right? Not that difficult. So first we had our group that followed the stems, had one stem for the boot, had one stem for the nous. Now we have a group that has irregular stems but regular endings. So what I mean by that is we're still going to follow the E, E-S, E, E-N-T, and we'll still have I-O-N-S, and we'll still have I-E-Z. But just the stems are weird. So let's just memorize the stems. Faire. Okay. Face. Okay. Savoir. Sache. Pouvoir. To be able to. Okay. So you just use their stems. That's all. Okay. Let's just put it in. Que je fasse. Que tu fasses. Qu'il fasse. Qu'il fasse. Que nous fassions. Que vous fassiez. Right? Let's put in sache. Que tu saches. Okay? Qu'il sache. Que nous sachions. Que vous sachiez. Qu'il sache. Okay? And then let's put in qu'il puisse. que je puisse, que tu puisses, qu'il puisse, sounds the same, que nous puissions, que vous puissiez. So this is different than the last group that we learned. The last group, some of the endings were all the same. We still had E, ES, E, I, O, N, S, E, and D, E, and T, but we had the boot pattern here, then we had the nous and vous. These verbs, faire, savoir, pouvoir, we just have to memorize these three things, and they are all stay the same in the whole table there. Out of all the verbs that we've learned, which ones are given to being the craziest? Okay? Usually it's être. Okay? Remember, it's je suis. Remember, être is je suis in the present. Does suis look anything like être? Anything at all? I don't think. All the letters changed, completely changed. There's no S, there's no I, there's no U in there at all. And yet, je suis is the present tense of, present indicative of être. So of course it's going to be weird in the subjunctive. But it's not terrible because it's still following some patterns that we know of. It's just in a completely different place than we expect it to be. So let's just look at this. Que je sois. So we're actually looking at the suis here, but we're changing it to sois. Que tu sois. Now, do you see the pattern that you should know? You should recognize? S, S, T. Qu'il soit. Okay. Now, SST. Remember those RE verbs that have the SST? We usually still have ENT. Same here. Now see how this is different though than the subjunctive that we've been learning? E, ES, E, ENT. But we replaced it with a pattern that you kind of are familiar with. SST. Look, SOI, 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 SOI. Okay? So in a way, it's completely breaking our subjunctive rules, but in another way, it's going back to rules that you're familiar with. Que je sois, que tu sois, qu'il soit, qu'il soit. They all sound the same. Soit, 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 soit. 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 Okay? Que nous. Can you guess? We've had this before. Do you recognize it? Remember? Vois, 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 voyons. Voyez. Vois. Ha! Not too tricky now, huh? Look at this. Watch. So see how it pays off to know your verbs? There. You already knew how to conjugate être in the subjunctive. You just didn't know it. So now, que nous soyons, que vous soyez. Okay. So, look. We do not have the I in the nous and the vous. We had it in everything else, but we have a Y instead, which, as we've seen, often replaces that I. So really not that tricky, huh? Just remember, go back to voir or croire. Okay? Je crois, tu crois, il croit, nous croyons. Same thing as well. All right. Lastly, the other one that's often weird. Let's see if we can find any similarities. Okay. Of course, avoir. Okay. It's a little weirder. Okay. Somewhat similar than what you've seen before, and yet still different enough to be annoying. Let's work first in the third person, because those are actually pretty similar to something you've already seen before. recognize it? AIT, remember? And the ENT with the AI in front of it. Those are the same things that we added for the imparfait onto other verbs. Remember? Je mangeais, j'aimais, right? So those are the endings right there. Unfortunately, for the je and the tu, it's not quite as easy, but we do still have that AI, and we have the AI. And here, this is where we're mixing like everything. We're mixing the T here that we've learned, but then we're going back to the E and ES pattern here. And then we're taking the AI and changing it to an AY and then doing VOO, ONS, easy. So that's a whole mix. Okay, we have the T and the ENT, and then it looks like the imparfait here, and then we have the E and the ES. I know, it's completely crazy. But it is what it is, and it's still finding a few patterns here and there that you should know. It's not completely new. So, let's go over it. It's que j'ai. Now, sounds like j'ai. Couple differences. Well, main one is that you hear the que, and the context of it would show you that this is subjunctive. But still, sounds like j'ai. Que j'ai, que tu es, qu'il est. All sounds the same. Qu'ils aient. Only difference here is that we have a liaison with the vowel here. Que j'ai, que tu es, qu'il est, qu'ils aient. J'ai. Que nous ayons, que vous ayez. Okay, ayez. And that's it. Okay, so we learned here. We have some irregulars that follow those two different patterns, the one in the boot, the one in the no and vous. We have some that have a completely different stem, like fes, but still follow the EESE, ENT endings, IONS, IEZ. And then we have ones like this that are completely weird. Completely. But it's, yeah, avoir is basically the worst. But you can do it. You can do it. Just write it a few times. You'll start seeing the pattern and it'll start fitting in. That you'll just know, okay, avoir's weird, right? Avoir's weird and être is weird. And we know that those things have always kind of been a little strange. Because you have to use them a lot. So of course that those are the ones that have to be the trickiest. But c'est grec, vous pouvez le faire. Just take your time. Write them a few times, try to practice sentences with them, and we'll go and we will see this again, okay? Subjunctive is something that you work on in every level from now on. It's something that you have to continue to perfect. It's not like the present tense where you know it done. It's going to be something that you keep needing to look back on and review, and especially learn when to use it, okay? All right, bon courage!